The trading station orbited a dying star, its rusted corridors filled with the dregs of 100 species. Commander Sarah Chen had seen worse places during her 20 years in the merchant fleet, but something about Station Krell always made her skin crawl. Perhaps it was the way desperation hung in the recycled air like smoke. She was checking manifest logs in the cargo bay when she heard it, a soft, animal-like whimper from behind a stack of fuel containers. Sarah's hand moved instinctively to her sidearm, but she paused. The sound came again, weaker this time. Not a threat. Something hurt. She found the child crouched in the shadows, thin limbs wrapped around a body that seemed too fragile to survive. The alien girl couldn't have been more than 7 in human years, though her species was unknown to Sarah. Pale blue skin stretched over visible bones, and 4 luminous eyes blinked up at her with the wariness of a beaten animal. The girl clutched something in her 3-fingered hands, a half-eaten protein bar wrapper, licking the inside with a long, delicate tongue. "Jesus," Sarah whispered, holstering her weapon. The girl flinched at the movement, scrambling backward until she hit the wall. Her breathing quickened, raspy and wrong. Sarah raised her hand slowly. "It's okay. I'm not going to hurt you." The universal translator on her collar hummed, converting her words into a pattern of soft clicks and tones. The girl's eyes widened, but she didn't run. Sarah glanced at the wrapper in the child's hands. Station garbage, at least 3 days old by the smell. Her jaw tightened. She reached into her jacket pocket slowly, never breaking eye contact. The girl tensed, ready to bolt. But when Sarah pulled out her lunch ration, a sealed pack of synthesized chicken and rice, something shifted in those 4 luminous eyes. "Here," Sarah said, tossing it gently. It landed a meter from the girl. For a long moment, neither moved. Then the child's thin arm shot out, snatching the package. But she didn't tear into it. Instead, she held it to her chest and stared at Sarah with an expression that made the commander's heart ache. Gratitude. Pure, desperate gratitude. "When's the last time someone was kind to you?" Sarah asked softly. The girl's translator collar, a cheap broken thing hanging loose around her neck, sputtered. "Don't remember." Sarah sat down cross-legged on the cold deck, making herself smaller, less threatening. "What's your name?" "Zixna." The word came out hesitant, as if she'd almost forgotten. "I'm Sarah. You live here on the station?" Zixna nodded slowly, finally opening the ration pack. But she didn't devour it like a starving animal. Instead, she ate with careful, precise movements, old etiquette breaking through desperation. The way she held the spoon, the angle of her head, Sarah's eyes narrowed. She'd seen enough species to recognize nobility when she saw it, even buried under layers of grime and starvation. "Zixna," she said carefully, "what happened to your family?" The girl's 4 eyes dimmed. "Dead. War came. I escaped. Alone." "How long have you been here?" 2 cycles. Nearly 6 months in human time, 6 months of eating garbage, 6 months of hiding like vermin, and no one had helped her. Sarah felt anger rising in her chest, not at the girl, but at every being who had walked past this child and seen nothing worth saving. "You're coming with me," Sarah said, standing. Fear flashed across Zixna's face. "No sell, please." "No, I'm not selling you." Sarah's voice was firm but gentle. "I'm taking you somewhere safe. You're going to have real food, a real bed, and no one is going to hurt you. Understand?" Zixna stared at her, 4 eyes searching Sarah's face for deception. Finding none, she nodded slowly. 3 weeks later, Sarah sat in her ship's medical bay while Dr. Koss reviewed the genetic analysis. The Vaxian physician's face was unreadable, but his 6 hands trembled slightly as he held the datapad. "Commander," he said quietly, "do you understand who this child is? A refugee. A survivor." "No." Koss turned the pad toward her. "She is Zixna Kelrith, last daughter of the Kelrith dynasty. Her people ruled 14 systems before the Krell Syndicate invaded. They massacred the royal family, hunted every heir." He paused. "She is worth more than this entire station." Sarah looked through the window at Zixna, who was sleeping peacefully for the first time in months, curled up in clean blankets. "To the Syndicate, maybe," Sarah said. "To slavers and bounty hunters. But that's not her worth. Not to me." Koss studied her. "You knew. Even before the analysis, you suspected." Sarah nodded. The way she moved. The way she ate, even starving. "You can't hide royal blood, Doctor. It's in every gesture." She met his gaze. But here's the thing. Even if she'd been nobody, just another street kid with no name and no throne, I still would have brought her aboard. Why? Because every human child deserves to be saved. And I decided a long time ago that extends to every child, period. Sarah's voice was steady. That's what makes us human. Not that we're the strongest or the smartest, but we see a kid eating garbage like a dog and we see someone worth saving. We see potential where others see trash. We see queens in the gutter. Koss's mandibles clicked softly, his species equivalent of a smile. The Galactic Council wonders why humanity rose so quickly from a single planet to a Federation power. This is why. You do not measure worth by what someone is. You measure by what they could become. Sarah stood, placing a hand on the window. Inside, Zizna stirred, 4 eyes opening. When she saw Sarah, she smiled, a small, genuine smile that transformed her entire face. She'll want to reclaim her throne someday, Koss said. Then we'll help her, Sarah replied. But first, she gets to be a kid. She gets to heal, and she gets to understand that someone saw her worth when she had nothing left. Zizna waved from inside the medical bay, and Sarah waved back. Sometimes, Sarah thought, humanity's greatest weapon wasn't their technology or their tactics. It was their stubborn refusal to let potential die in the dark, even if that potential ate scraps like a dog, even if everyone else walked by. One human stopped and saw a queen, and that made all the difference.